Fabiola here,
And Matt
and this is
from Squares to Circles podcast. You see, I remembered the S. See, give me some credit.
it's just time to just be, like we gotta be like light like feather dudes. And if we have friends and people that are really in your inner circle, just you know what I mean? Like you can understand people going through bad things and being there for them, but you
Mhm.
cannot understand, you cannot enable I don't know how to call it, enable toxicity.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
to enable toxicity. Don't put me there. Don't call me
mhm.
for that. We've talked about this. You want to be there and suffer, then that's it. You want to come here and live with,
But do you remember the onion theory that I have?
what's your theory?
Okay, so like because it is a big step to get rid of those bad people. Like of course, there is
It's
like
hard and
super.
it's a process. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a process, but there is like these super horrible people, and those you should like, every time you meet them, they get you to feel bad about yourself, and they affect your mood for several hours or something. Like those, get rid of those immediately, and then you have like less, useful, not useful, but less you know,
Valuable,
friends who are
valuable,
sort of like
valuable,
fillers. They are
valuable.
not really adding anything. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and huh?
Yeah. I like how you put it. Fillers.
Yeah. Fillers. Filler
Filler.
friends. Like
Hey, we can make that a thing. Filler friends. Filler friends. I don't want any filler friends. And it's not that she was a filler friend, but it's just not, you know what I mean? Not entertaining the feeling,
oh, I see.
the
Okay.
feel
So
of that non-fillers, of the non-fillers, not entertaining the feeling of the
yeah.
non-fillers, of the real true friends. Like it gets to a point, mom, friend, it's time to change. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
you can't keep on being unreliable like this to me.
mm,
And mom, you wanna live that? That's your choice.
yeah.
I'm here. I gave you this. I offer you this. All I'm saying is, don't come to me with the same old broken thing that's been like going on for 5, 10, 15,
Mhm.
20 years. Like it's time for change, dudes.
Yeah, it's like we already heard that. Like, get on. Like,
Yep.
you
And I know
know.
that it's hard and I know that you need to process it. And I know it took me years, like I would say 10 years of like being toxic, like even 15 years of toxicity.
Yeah.
Really, it's been
Mm,
really 15 years of toxicity straight. And I know it takes a lot, but
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. But the theory with the onion theory is like you have you don't give the same access to everyone. It's like, and you don't spend the same amount of time on everyone. It's like if I would be spending all of my time with toxic people, I would be horrible. Like I wouldn't be getting anywhere, and I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be doing what I want to do. So those get the least, like the really toxic people, of course, that only get you to feel bad. You get rid of those as fast as you can. But then you have another, like those filler friends. They are fun to hang around, but they are not really, boosting you. You are not really boosting each other. And it doesn't help to really talk with them. And those get the least amount to access. But like you and me, we give each other like most of the access. You have full access to me and who I am, and I know I get the full access to the Queen Leaders experience. You know,
it's so
that's the
true.
online
It's
theory.
so true, but you can only do that whenever you get to that point of self-love. If you don't
Yeah,
appreciate your time, you just hang out with
yeah,
whoever. You just
yeah,
like, yeah, I'd rather be with you than alone. So let's just drink some beer and watch some
yeah.
movies.
But there was this very good, I don't know, like I think either a TikTok or a YouTube video. This guy said that a good book and loneliness is better than shitty friends. Imagine you don't have any people who help you, become and develop. Then, a book is almost like having a conversation with another person, almost like a successful person speaking with you and giving you all the advice. And it's
Almost,
better than hanging out with shitty friends who,
almost like a chatbot,
yeah.
like Snapchat. Do you get that new artificial intelligence thing on
Oh yeah, I
Snapchat?
saw that, but I haven't tried it. Have you? I've
Sophie
heard
told
that
me
it's
today.
not good.
Sophie told me today. She's like, "Yeah, you can download it and it can be your friend." And she's like, all telling me about it. I'm like, "So yeah, it's like an artificial friend. You
Yeah,
can
and
talk.
you're
You can
like, okay, Sophie, cool story, bro.
no, but it is like it is crazy that we're going there. We were talking about it from the point of view of like, wow, how many people are gonna do that?
Well, a lot of people are lonely, so
I
probably a lot.
know. Yeah. So how do we cure loneliness?
Wow, we need to, because there are a lot of communities, like every person and their mom has like a Discord server for their fan base, and you can go there and connect with like-minded people, but it's not so easy to get into those always. Like it's easy to maybe find them, like everyone has one, but taking the step to actually go into one, it's like maybe. Like that's just one theory because like there are a lot of communities, but still we have loneliness. It's interesting though.
Because it's the connection that we don't have.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah. And maybe it's more than, a connection can be one-sided or two-sided, sort of. Like or
it's
not,
what connection you
like of course, like when you are joining a community, you get to talk with like-minded people, but you still want to become understood, you know, and
right,
liked, and you not maybe necessarily get that.
right, right.
So maybe
So
the problem is in the communities, not.
no, that the problem never is in the communities. Like the problem almost comes from within you. Now
Yeah, of course, it's
that
like.
we're generations of that problem, that's another thing, like racism, like stuff like that, like stuff you were born with. Like racist people didn't help. They had to be racist. That's what's going on.
Hmm.
And you hear people even to this day talk like to people like back in the days and they can't help it. And then you see them hanging out with black people and I'm like, it's not a hate thing. It's just like they're so used to calling them that word. It's like, wow. We're
Hmm.
like blank slate into this world, and whatever it's going on around in that time, we become that. Like
Hmm.
I mean, what do you go through when you were born in '96? Like what was your thing growing up? Like,
You're asking me now?
yeah, like it was
Are
not,
we taking this now?
yeah, like slavery was slave thing, my thing. I'm not gonna talk about what was the thing, like that you went through. Like some people had to go through slavery. What was your thing that you had
Surgery,
to go?
surgery, having a condition being different from everyone else, looking different, and hence not being maybe included all the time. That led to me to maybe trying to perfect, the square because I was different. So I wanted so much to be like other people. And then I maybe eventually became so much like other people. It was hard to be myself, maybe.
Yeah, but you always were yourself though. Like you always were very creative and
Yeah, yeah, of course, that part,
lessons and
but my personality and,
how do
and
you go?
I still to this day wonder, like, what the fuck was I thinking?
What I'm saying
Yeah,
is
like,
like
I only have theories, but like I said, it's like, because I don't get to be a part of what other people are doing, then other people are idiots.
they're like, yeah, I got this figured out. You guys are idiots.
Mm.
Anyways, today's podcast, we're gonna be talking about, oh my God, what are we gonna be talking about? Jesus Christ. Those things that like hold us down. Like, let's talk about all the dead weight. What you just shared with us right now, Matt. That was just
Mm,
like, that's your dead weight. That, I mean, that's you grew up having to go through surgeries and having to go through, like, I don't even know if like, that's like a whole entire, like,
mhm.
that is something else as a kid
Yeah, yeah,
to
like because I thought
endure.
I was going to die, you know.
But as a
I was
kid,
just a
though,
kid. I didn't know what was going on, really
yeah,
in the
but
beginning.
in your mind, what do you remember? Like being in hospitals like that, like
Yeah.
like when did you become aware that it's like, oh shit, I'm really sick and I'm always in hospitals? Like, when you were.
Well, I think I never thought that I was sick in a way. I thought just like, I had to go through that to be able to survive, sort of. And I
Yeah, but I
think
mean, how many surgeries was that?
around maybe 30. Yeah, it's
It's
pretty,
hardcore. It's
it
hardcore.
is pretty
It's
much.
hardcore. It's how that guy from the gym that I want to do this with. Hey, Steven Fitch. He is going to the gym with an oxygen tank.
Oh yeah.
He had a long failure. I mean, a long transplant 5 years ago, and one of the things with long transplants is that 5 years after, it can fail.
Mm,
Only a certain percentage does, but he was that small percentage,
mm.
and they're failing. So I
That's
want,
what.
yeah, and I want to get him on here. I still see him at the gym with his tank and stuff. It's it's pretty what do you say? Eye opening.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do remember very well that I was a super fun and kind person in the beginning, you know. And I was like, as a kid, I was super, myself doing my own thing. And then in my teenage years, everything went to shit.
Yeah, like you were like, oh, adult life review. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure like things changed. Like, why did everything go to shit?
Yeah, but it's interesting. Everything went to shit, but I was living my best life in a way.
Right? You had
Because
your own
like
store,
I had,
and
yeah.
that's the whole point of this podcast, I guess, is how to be authentic and how to be yourself and how to share who you are without hiding like that, like for that long. I know that we all hide for a certain time, but then there comes a time where you just like say it and you just talk about it and then you just like share with the world. Like, you can share your struggles and become better and take your failures and look at them as like, oh, next time I'll be faster, next time I'll be better. But if you always live life through the lenses of survival instead of thriving, of like, oh, poor me, I have to try again. Yeah, 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 that kind of little victim little
Mm.
attitude. And I have that little victim attitude. I mean, as better as I have gotten, of course, I don't trip out. I take a good attitude when stuff like that happens. But still, I have remnants, little particles of little toxic, little always, little old ticks, little old like.
And if you poke in the right place, it comes
Right,
out.
right. And no, and it's the thing. It's like, oh, okay. There's still that. And then I know now what to focus on next, what to heal next. Because I don't think that we will ever like die and being like completely healed. I don't
No,
know.
and it's not supposed to be like that. It's like that's what I learned in my studies. Like people always have to develop, you know.
I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else to say after that, but I think I've said everything I needed to say. I think
Ha ha! I see.
we'll do one. We'll do it one more time. All right, guys. Till next time.